Hey, what's up, guys? It's Yacht here. I'm bringing you guys a combo video for the Power Patron DoomZ deck that I got top 32 at Nationals this past weekend. I'm still working out the kinks with filming the videos and stuff. I'm sure there's a bit of glare here. I'm trying to work with the lighting. So right now I'm just going to do the Normal Summon Elara combo alongside having, 4 other cards in your hand with like at least one other spell or trap. Which is very, very likely to happen if you're, starting your turn with Normal Summon Elara combo. But anyways, we'll get right into it. Normal Summon Elara, specifically not in the center monster zone. You really want to keep your center monster zone clear of anything that you don't want to be able to immediately link off. But Elara will set Adrastea, equip Adrastea to Elara, rank up for the Diactorus, slap Graflario on top, Graflario effect. Obviously, up to this point, if they have any single hand trap to stop you from playing, you're going to be stopped from playing, but that's because it's a 1 card. But regardless, I'll still show how to properly try to play around interactions. But Graflario will detach specifically Adrastea and search change. You'll then change, pop Baby Patron to then search the Geppetto. It's very important that we pop Baby Patron here because if our playing starts to get stopped, then we want to be able to pivot. And the Link 2 requires you to have a patron in the graveyard. And, being able to go change, pop Baby Patron, puts a patron in graveyard that's more likely just going to stay there for you to be able to search Theor Realize later in your combo. But regardless, after Baby Patron searches Geppetto, you'll scale Geppetto, go Geppetto effect, popping Geppetto and the Graflario. You go Chainlink 1 Graflario, Chainlink 2 Geppetto. Typically, you'll have other patron stuff in your hand, so you don't mind this getting ashed. If you're searching Terminus, Terminus would get ashed anyways. You want to be able to secure that you'll get like a Adrastea in case they stop you. But you'll go Chainlink 1, Chainlink 2, so Geppetto will search you Terminus, Graflario will summon out Amalfi, and this one you can summon into the center monster zone. Then you'll go Amalfi effect, search the Adrastea. Now you can go Terminus, dump Nervetto, add Vidolium, scale Vidolium, Vidolium effect, pop to Reborn, the Nervetto, Vidolium, search field spell. What's cool here is if you don't have a spell trap in your hand, like an Imperm, for instance, to just make non-finito right here, you can use the field spell that you search off of Vidolium to make non-finito, and then Nervetto will summon out Ginaldo, and when Ginaldo goes to the extra deck, you can add back the field spell. So that's a cool line in a pinch. The only issue there is that you're short 1 level 10 to make Varudris later down the line in the combo, but if you have like a Raiders also in your hand, you can make up for that. But in this case, we're saying like optimal first card combo where you have like 3 dead cards and a spell trap. So now you'll send the spell trap and you'll discard the spell trap and tribute the Nervetto to contact fuse for the non-finito. Because right here, because we have 2 bodies, a Harmonia would give them like notable value. But we've kind of checked for Ash. So you'd want to go Chainlink 1 non-finito, Chainlink 2 Nervetto. Because if they go like Chain Ash, Chain Imperm Veiler, like we have Field Spell and we have Adrastea, and we can link 2 for the Link 2 Power Patron while we have the Power Patron in the graveyard to search for Theor Realize. Like it's very bad for them if they do Ash Veiler Imperm, but we still have other plays. So now Nervetto will summon out Ginaldo, and non-finito sets Recapture. Now here, you can link the Ginaldo and the Amalfi off for a Beyond the Pendulum. Now here, we want to just kind of like bait out a Harmonia, because since Recapture negates and destroys, we would much rather them we would much rather negate a Harmonia with recapture than with like a Varudras. We want it out of their hands. So now we're just going to start trying to like bait them into activating a Harmonia incorrectly. And we also want to play around Bell since we haven't really played into Bell up to this point. So we'll go Chainlink 1 Ginaldo to add back, Chainlink 2 Beyond the Pendulum, pay 1200 for cost to add the Shade. And then Ginaldo will very specifically add back the Nervetto from the extra deck, because you're going to want to Pendulum Summon Geppetto and Ginaldo very specifically, because Geppetto is going to equate to a Link 2 rating or a Rank 4 down the line, and Ginaldo lets you be able to get a Synchro into rotation, so for the crackback you can make Vidolium, you can summon Vidolium easier. Now, Scale Shade, Scale Nervetto, Pendulum Summon, super simple, link off the Ginaldo very specifically, because in case things get stopped, you want to be able to have a DoomZ card on the board for Drastea to be able to summon itself out without having to re-equip the Adrastea from the graveyard. So you'll link the Ginaldo and the Beyond out for Exceed, Exceed on summon, add back the Ginaldo, Exceed, summon out the Ginaldo. Here, very specifically here, now you're going to want to go Shade Effect, bounce the Shade back. If you do it beforehand, you won't be able to summon the Ginaldo out with Exceed, since you have to have like a completed scale. And you want to bounce it back because you're going to use it in the like later down the line as a level 4 to make Dogaris. So now that we're here, now we can go Overlay into Mercurium. Mercurium effect. Unfortunately, attach Spell Canceller directly from deck. If and hopefully when stuff like Spell Canceller and Christia and other Floodgate monsters get banned, there are more base things that you can do with this, which you can also do post-side, because I'm not keeping Spell Canceller and going second. You can attach Medius if you haven't gotten access to Medius yet. So when you link off, now Medius is in graveyard. You can also attach Mag, so that later down the line you can like summon it back with like a Quartet, for instance, and then Mag can search you a Druis Worm. And because we're with the DoomZ stuff, we got the Drastea, you know, we'll have Doom Dirge, and Doom Dirge will be able to pop the Druis and get a target send whenever you want. But for game one, turn one combo, we're attaching the Spell Canceller. Then we link for the Quartet. Now, here we can go Quartet, targeting these two, summon, summon, and then you can go Drastea, pop the Geppetto, and equip the Doom Dirge from the deck. The reason why you want to do this is because now we're going to go Doom Dirge, pop Quartet, and we also want to get the Doom Dirge out of the deck before we do our Ginaldo Banish 3. And then now we can go activate Field Spell, reveal Jupiter, banish, summon out Geppetto, and then now and here's one unfortunate thing. Now we have to do a risky banish 3, like a relatively risky banish 3. The only thing that we're scared about banishing right now is Medius or the Theor Realized Past Lull. Assuming that we don't banish it, because if we do banish it, it's fine. We can still pivot into making Varudras and getting the Spell Canceller out with Dogaris. But if we don't banish it, then it pops the Geppetto, summons Jupiter out, specifically into the EMZ, and then attaches a random card from your hand that isn't, Shade. On summon, this will attach the Adrastea to it, and then we can go Effect to Reborn the Amalfi, and or the Elara. It really doesn't matter. The only thing here is that now we do this and this. We link these guys off. I know it seems like worthless to have used the effect to re-equip the Adrastea, but it's like just in case they like bell you or Imperm Veil or whatever, stop you from like the Jupiter effect, you want to be able to transmutate that Jupiter into a level 4 body if you need, like in a pinch if you need to. But you link the two off for the link to Power Patron. Obviously, we have Jupiter and the baby patron engraved, so we can search the Theorealized past lull. Theorealized past lull summons out Medius, which then can summon out the Nervetto. At this point, now there's nothing else in the deck that we're really concerned about, like banishing. So we can banish 3 for Ginaldo, pop, summon out the Genora, and then you can use the Genora and the Nervetto for a Varudris. Everything is being summoned in attack here for, because we're going to be skipping our next main phase 1, so we want to be able to actually threaten game. Then now we can special shade because we have Nervetto, overlay the 2 for a Dugaris effect to summon from the graveyard and skip the next main phase 1, which summons out Spell Canceller, and obviously it has to summon it in defense. And then we can go Medius effect, shuffling back the Dugaris, summoning out the Medius, and voila. And so that's Elara with a spell trap and like 2 random cards that you can get rid of. You know, it's very hand hungry, but honestly against KT it's very nice because oftentimes you'll just end with no cards in your hand, and so Rotary is like functionally a dead card for them. But what this equates to is obviously Spell Canceller. We have a negate and then potentially destroy a card on the field. We have Non-Finito with Recapture, which is a negate, and because we have more than enough different types, if we're playing against like some kind of Mind Shuffle deck, some kind of Roll-Ad deck, you know, we could potentially be able to bounce the Mind Shuffle back to their hand, like when they try to do something with it. And then we also have the Power Patron link 2 with Medius to go for an SP play. We have Drestea to go into Drastrius, get an equip on summon and negate an equip. But then on top of that, because now the Doom Dirge is no longer like a spell card on the field, it's a XYZ material. Now the Drastrius isn't targetable, and you can also like pop the Varudris and then get a non-target pop if you want to. So this is 1, 2, potentially 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, potentially 9 disruptions with Spell Canceller on board too. It's very broken. I also forgot to mention that before you actually pass turn, what you can do, because we haven't done the Adrastea effect to re-equip, you can re-equip it to Drastea here, because we're basically done with our combo, because then when Drastea ranks up into Drastrius, we make a 3 material Drastrius since we only run 1 of it. And this is actually really, really nice because like going into the grind, like you're just getting a negate so many times. Like on the first negate you'll do the Adrastea, second negate you'll do the Drastea, and then you should potentially still have the Doom Dirge underneath it when you want to like go for game. So it's very, very nice. I'm also going to do some test hands so that you can see, how to play around, how to play through hand traps with average hands. But let me know how this video turned out. If you guys have any advice on what I can do to try to make it better, please let me know down in the comments. And until next time, stay cooking.